For the first quiz for the Myths, Legends, and Folktales unit, there is an extra credit study guide that you can complete in your Spiral notebook. If you open the document, the directions tell you to complete the activities below in your Spiral notebook. This study guide is worth up to 20 points of extra credit. The first thing you need to do is find and highlight the following definitions in your Spiral notebook. By the time you get to this study guide, you should have each of these definitions in your Spiral notebook, and you need to just find and highlight them. The definitions you need to find are folktales, legends, cautionary tale, myth, theme, directly stated theme, implied theme, analyzing, making inferences, predicting, comparing and contrasting, comparing, contrasting, protagonist, and antagonist. Once you've found and highlighted all of those definitions, then you're going to move on to the next activity. It says, at the front of your Spiral notebook, under your last set of notes or on the next page, title the page Myth, Legends, and Folktales Quiz 1 Study Guide and answer the questions that follow. You must copy the questions and write the answers. Answers do not have to be in complete sentences. So I've given you an example here of how you'd set up the page. So Myth, Legends, and Folktales Quiz 1 Study Guide. Then underneath that, you would write each question and answer each question. So you would write 1, who is Zeus? And then on the next line, you would write the answer. Then you would, on the next line, write 2, who is Hades? On the next line, you'd give the answer, and so on and so forth. So the questions are 3, who is Poseidon? 4, who is Hera? 5, who is Aphrodite? 6, who is Ares? 7, who is Athena? 8, who is Odysseus? 9, who is Achilles? Question 10, what was the conflict of King Midas? 11, what was the theme of King Midas? 12, why is King Midas an example of a myth? For this particular question, you want to be able to explain how King Midas fits the definition of myth. And you're going to need to go back to your notes to find this out. Okay, so there's a little hint for you to help you with that question. 13, what was the conflict in The People Could Fly? 14, what was the conflict in The People Could Fly? 14, what was the theme of The People Could Fly? 15, why is The People Could Fly an example of legend? So you need to go back and explain how The People Could Fly fits the definition of legend. Okay? You're going to need to go back to your notes to get that definition to figure out how it fits. And then 16 is, what is the difference between a traditional protagonist and a modern protagonist? When answering this question, you want to go back to your protagonist and antagonist notes and figure out what a traditional protagonist is and what a modern protagonist is and what the difference is. It's very small. Underneath these questions, you're going to copy the table below and fill it in using any folktale from the list of well-known folktales at keithbooks.com that we've used before. So here's that list. There is a link to this with the activity in Blackboard, and you can go and you can click on any of these folktales. You can read the folktale, and then you can use it for your activity. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down the name of the folktale. You're going to tell the name of at least one character with magical powers from that folktale. You're going to give the name of at least one very good character, the name of at least one very bad or evil character, and the name of a character who triumphs over the evil character. Once you have highlighted all of those definitions, answered those 16 questions, and completed the table, then your study guide is complete, and I will be coming around during the quiz to see who has completed the study guide for that extra credit.